following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Well, this isn't... The water comes out of this one pipe. So
okay.
either you break it off and try and reattach the hose to a pipe gushing with water, or that's it. Unless you can have the time to re-plumbing a whole thing and then attach it.
Well, do I think I could, if it was broken off, attach the hose and, like, do you know what I mean?
You probably couldn't because of the force of the water that would be coming out and your crippled arm. But you think it might be done if someone is sufficiently powerful, or if it could be temporarily plugged in such a way that it could be unplugged once the pipe was in place. Maybe from inside the tank. That's all you're going to get in that roll.
Okay. I'll turn back.
The valve has been melted together.
No!
So what we need to do is block the output from inside the tank, pull the valve off, attach a hose, and then unblock it from the inside.
What? I can't swim.
I'll turn to the other guy.
Could you block it from the inside? Get something in to block it from the inside.
Yeah, sure. Oh god, no rest. Oh, my arms. Sure, shit, what could possibly block it from the inside?
I'll make a perception check to, like, spot something around. 29.
Well, it doesn't have to be a great seal, so maybe his helmet?
Your helmet will be fine.
Okay. He starts wearily climbing the ladder up the side of the tank. A bunch of people are running out of the accommodation and barracks blocks and staring at the fire and staring around. It's drawing a lot of attention, even from, like, villagers who have business here that, like, stopped and gathered. And that is starting to impede the bucket chain a bit.
Okay.
River arrives in a swirling vortex beside you. She is wearing a towel.
Hey.
She's like, status.
We're blocking I've got someone blocking the intake from the inside so we can pull the valve off.
Why are we pulling the valve? Oh, never mind.
It's melted.
Right. Sword arm.
I mean, there's not much I can do except, like, wait for this dude to block the thing and then, you know, like, and come back up. I guess I can make a perception check on, like, if I hear the... fuck it. That'll be fine.
Eventually, the spluttering gasps of a guy surfacing from above can be heard.
Okay, get the valve off.
Fuck me. Just slices it right the fuck off. Some water, like, gushes out, but then it sort of slows down to a trickle.
Get the hose on.
The other guy will, like, rest the guy. The soldier guy will be like, cool, man. Like, wrestles the hose and he's like, shit, there's no connector for the hose. I guess I just gotta hold it here with my man muscles.
Guess that's the case.
You realize that's not gonna fucking work.
Yeah, I know. Is it? I'll make a check, see if there's something, or... Okay, 36 on a perception check.
River's right there. But you know
River,
she
can you make a connector? Could you connect it?
Of course, sure thing. Get out. That should, like, negotiate her way. Hey, you can't be... Okay. She just, like, melts the hose connector onto the pipe. She's like, good. It's good enough. Yep.
Then I'll to the soldier up in the tank.
That was him.
Take a breath, and then pull the helmet out.
Yeah. Alright. Splash.
And then I'll look to the black guy. You need to be pointing the hose. It's just gonna come out.
He'll just grab the hose and, like, slide down to the ground floor on it. Because,
Yeah.
you know, you can do that. And I've seen firemen do it, so that must be a legitimate strat.
Yeah.
Eventually, water is thundering, thanks to the pressure of gravity, through the hose and
Delicious,
they help.
delicious gravity.
I mean, I'm a fan of it, but also I not at some points. I have a conflicted relationship with gravity. She's a harsh mistress.
Yeah.
Eventually, the firefighting efforts are extinguishing the raging fire, but the building is clearly like kind of a wreck.
Yeah.
You stand atop the building, backlit by the setted sun, and everyone looks up at you with awe.
Jesus Christ.
There might be a shining halo behind your head. And by might be, I mean you probably can't see it, so you don't know about it.
Yeah.
Instinctively, you
turn
strike a
to-
three-quarter hero pose.
A 3/4 hero pose.
You know the one. One shoulder slightly forward, head tilted up, backlit Superman cape fluttering in the wind.
Yep.
Oh, you turn to River. She drops her hand and a light fades. I'm gonna need to finish my shower.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I'll talk to you in a bit.
She just heads through the roof access door.
Yeah.
That your powerful entrance burst off one of its hinges. I didn't mention
Really?
it. I didn't mention it because you were consumed with the need to do things.
But I broke the fucking door.
You shoulder barged it open, and it's hinged. It wasn't very well made, if it's any consolation.
I'll check on the guy that was in the tank, see if he's fine.
He's like,
You doing okay?
He's like sputtering, but he's exhausted. Hey, do we do it? Do we do it, Corporal?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stay here for a little bit.
Yeah, take a rest.
I'm gonna head down.
You head through.
Or actually, instead, before I do that, we've moved around a lot of shit and done a lot of shit, but I'd like to make an investigation check on the valve area since it had been melted together. 25.
Yep, it had been.
No other like indicators of what it could be or
You need
what
to
it could have
kind of
been.
tell me
or-
what you're sort of looking for with it. Investigate.
Um,
Otherwise, it's
like-
a search check.
Sure. So, like, how it was done, how recently it was done.
Okay, so examining the bits of pipe that are left over, it's still warm-ish, implying that it was done pretty much around the time the fire was set. Maybe.
Right.
It was very specific and isolated. There's no signs of scorching on the big wooden barrel that is the big like wooden tank or the roof or anything like that. So you would say that this is consistent with mutant burning, that like mutants who have been able to use fire but have been able to control it specifically well can render this result.
Right.
It could also have been done with long-term application of like a welder with or a plasma torch or a cutter, with that would direct very specific directional heat in an area. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a mutant. It could also be a tool that did it. But from where it is, whoever it was would have had to have been actually in view if anyone had looked up there. But from the way the sun is coming down, they would have been in shadow, so maybe not. But like also, like most fire sources would generate light, which might attract attention.
Okay. So I've got a rough time, like, of when the fire started, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna head down. People who I knew were in the courtyard around that time.
Just
Like,
about
in that sort
everyone.
of, like, central area. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna head down. I'll see if I can spot the general first.
Oh,
That would be
yeah,
the most
no.
easy to talk to
He's
him.
come out to, like, throw orders around and, like, clear certain lanes of access and restrict access and that sort of thing. Their building is now kind of just smoking and dripping. Drake, don't have time for you right now.
The valve for the water tower was melted together around the same time the fire started. Someone on the ground could have seen the perpetrator.
Cool. I'll certainly take care of that once we've finished with the recovery effort.
Everyone made it out?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry to bother you.
The major who is doing the colonel's job is sort of running around trying to help but actually being counterproductive, and he gets yelled at. River will come out of the barracks area, just like wearing like track pants and a t-shirt. Her hair's still wet, but she like just runs over. She's like, "What do you need me to do?"
Well, I don't know that there's a lot we can do now. I don't know if they'd let us in the building, but
We don't have to ask.
this is true. Alright, alright. See if we can figure this out.
Shivering portal. After you, sir.
I'll like nod my head and then go through the portal.
You're inside a fire and water damaged lab. River joins
Alright.
you with a witch sound.
Okay.
That was a much better way of doing that. Do you feel that tingle?
Do I?
No.
No.
Exactly.
What did you do differently?
It's just a slightly different way of opening the aperture. It never occurred to me before, but... Anyway, we should probably make use of our time in here.
I will make an investigation check.
Okay.
Assuming-
While you're doing that, I will describe your surroundings, because you're probably not going to get anything less than a 20. The lab is fire blackened and also drenched in water. The fire suppression systems are all melted shut. So there were sprinklers in here, connected to that tank upstairs. They are also
Yeah.
melted shut into
Yep.
little, like, low-res versions of them. So everything just sort of softened up but kept its shape. It didn't blobify or anything. If you're
Right.
I don't know if I'm describing that real well, but
No, I know what you mean.
the cabinets containing all of the research notes are completely, like, molten and burnt and destroyed. The boards and research equipment has all been smashed to bits and melted with fire. All progress has basically been reset to zero. The bed that you sleep, the cot that you sleep on, is basically not there at all anymore. Anything else is going to need the results of that roll.
39.
Jesus. What did you roll, a 19?
I did, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so, well, I don't need to roll for River. She can just leech off of your ridiculous number. You guys start, like, nosing around methodically and meticulously. You've got your investigation, black nitrile gloves on, I'm assuming.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Because-
Gloves for sure.
Yeah. Now, I prefer nitrile gloves over the other kinds. I think they're the superior glove. And they come in black, which suits you down to the ground.
It does.
Well, think about it. It allows you to investigate at night without a bright blue colour giving you away. Because, as you know, bright colours glow in the dark, according to 60s era Spider-Man animations. You know, the era from that meme.
It's better than the 90s era Spider-Man animations.
I don't think I saw... Oh, no, I did see some of that. Some of it was okay, some of it wasn't.
It was just exceptionally lazy.
Yeah. So different from the Cal art style of the modern era. Which is the laziest.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, me too. Oh god, we agree on something to do with the comics and animation. What? Universe falling! Right, so you're picking things around the end. You will notice that the only sort of thing made of paper at all that seems to be intact is a family picture of your family. Like, is your mother in a chair, your father's standing like behind the chair. You know, the traditional position, and then and you're sitting on your mother's lap, and you're a very, very young child.
Yeah.
And that's in a frame, and that is perfectly intact. It's not even... It's wet, but that's it. That is intact. There is a bunch of communiques from the United States Army Center of Special Projects and Research. And that has things like, the response to your request for an upgraded spectral analyzer has been approved, and it will be delivered within the next month, and as part of the usual shipment. Furthermore, requests of information regarding under the agreements regarding River Magruder have been declined due to the what's that thing they have? What's that thing? God, I'm having a bit of a blank at the moment. Where it's that thing where it's part of national security. Right. National security issue. There is a missive saying that that a team is going to be sent specifically to collect these research materials. It's non-specific as to what team, and that they will arrive when they get there.
Yeah.
There's also a number of forms that are like partially damaged and broken all over the place that are basically what's his name? From Harvey Blake, Injure.
Right.
Basically like a bunch of like bureaucrat consent and request and safety and like forms that just like need to be filled out in triplicate for everything anyone does. Those have somehow managed to survive, at least in part.
Of course.
For some reason. And there's like your notebook regarding like the virus and that the front cover is there and part of the binding, but that's it. It's fire and water damaged, and it's sort of just lying like that leather cover is just like face up under what's remains of a bench, just like the corner just sticking out. It looks like it almost looks like this fire was targeted.
Yeah, I'm getting that impression. If I pick up the like destroyed remnants of the journal, is there like anything on the inside?
It's never over.
Yeah, I thought so.
And it's written in River's hand.
Okay. Okay, well, like, when he, like... Well, when Drake, like, flips over the notebook, like, he will say, I thought so.
River approaches you from her side of things. She's like, I got bad news. You know that fireproof cabinet that they've been storing, like, notes on upcoming surgeries? The surgeon's, like, prep thing.
Yeah.
Well, I've got good news and bad news. What do you want first?
We'll take the bad news.
Fire got into it somehow. Destroyed a lot of
And
the
the good
notes.
news?
Some of them survived. The top drawer, in fact. So, not a complete loss.
Whose notes specifically are those? Do those ones belong to?
A to E. A lot of them belonging to Dr. Drake.
Yeah. I thought they might.
I'll pass her the burnt remains of the notebook.
Oh, I see. I didn't write this. I don't think I need to tell you that, though, do I?
You didn't need to tell me that, no.
You know, if he's gonna fuck around, I wish he'd just come and kill me. No? Nothing? Okay. Worth a risk.
Drake would just, like, give her this look of, like... Really? But then, like... I don't know. He'll, like, put everything back.
Although, my family photograph being the only major thing that survived the fire here is somewhat unsettling.
Oh, look, it's little Thomas Drake. Look at him with his little pouty face and serious expression. Oh, God, this is after you did the thing, isn't it?
This one isn't.
Man, you must have always been a serious kid.
That's what I've been told.
Oh, look at him. Well, your mother has aged really well.
Yeah.
Damn.
Almost looks exactly the same.
There's a few lines around her eyes now that out there, and her hair is a bit lighter, but yeah. Damn, your family are blessed with good genetics as well, huh?
So it seems. So it seems.
Well,
But
from what I was able to tell, several small fires are set without accelerant around the place. At least over there.
and everything was, and all the sprinklers have been melted together in such a way that you wouldn't notice it at first glance.
The MRI machine's been melted with a heat greater than could have been achieved by the fire that this place would have naturally put out, so it was melted separately. If you can arrange another few minutes, and I can probably tell you what melted it.
That would be good.
Okay. She'll move back over to the machine and start doing things with her arm. I hope there's still food around because I'm probably going to need it.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
The only other thing Drake is going to do... I'll turn.
Major Dozovic is there. Probably,
Major?
judging from having his stunts, he's been there for maybe a little bit. I'm not going to ask how you got in here.
I appreciate that.
Found anything?
Well, this is intentional. All the sprinklers are, if you look up, you see they look fine, but actually they're all melted together, just very carefully.
I figured this was intentional.
Almost everything's totally destroyed. River's trying to figure out what happened to the MRI machine.
Oh, is that what you're doing? Be done in a minute, Major. Well, can you tell me anything right now? He'll like gingerly walk across broken glass and puddles.
Well, seems to be the same culprit as before.
And I'll like pick up the diary and turn it over and show him.
Major takes it off you in his ungloved hands and turns it one side, then another. And he just sort of looks around real sus and just like puts it in one of his pants pockets. Don't think anyone needs to see that. This equipment is important?
Most of it, but it can all be replaced. It would just take time.
And money. I don't...
give me
Are you aware that currently Congress is attempting to pull funding for this whole project? We gotta look out for Americans first, and so on.
I have a 25 on an insight check on the Major.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see if he's like acting sus or like out differently than usual.
No. No, he seems to be acting in a similar manner to after during the investigation as last time.
Yep. Okay. I have heard that. But realistically, there's no way of knowing. There's no way of knowing if this will only be limited to those of Asian descent forever. So this is in America's interests, in my estimation.
Yeah, that's what the science nerds keep telling me. River steps back. She's like, okay. She'll like sit on a partially destroyed bench. So I have some results if you're interested.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Major. Sorry I couldn't acknowledge you before I needed most of my run cycles. What? How do you run on a cycle? Okay, so the burn damage isn't the melting. It isn't burn damage. The burning was after the fact. The metal's just been twisted and molded into a melted shape. The heat comes from the friction.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, someone just decided it would be that shape, or so like a metal morph or something. Or someone incredibly strong, but I don't see any like finger grooves or anything like that. Torsion appears to have been applied equally throughout the lattice.
Well, that's certainly concerning.
I don't know too many people who could do this. I could. But didn't.
Obviously.
Yeah, so Drake is going to move over to the photo. Like where the family photo is on the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Open the photo frame.
Mm-hmm.
Check the inside of the photo frame.
Okay.
Like the back of the photo.
Okay.
This is just, well, in conversation.
Bruce, Eleanor, Drake, and Thomas, and there's a date.
Ah, okay. There isn't, like, anything that's been added, or...
Nope.
Okay. I'll put it back.
Mm-hmm. Well, what does that tell us? I don't know, I can just tell you the results of my scan. The genius is over there.